Hey guys, I'm Erik Peterson, and I'm a men's dating and relationship coach for Skill of Attraction. And a few of you have asked me to do some reaction videos. It was something that I never really planned on doing, but enough of you have asked where I figured I'll give it a shot. So I have no idea how this is going to turn out. I've never done anything like this before, but we're going to give it a shot and we're going to see how it goes. So, and be sure to give me some feedback if you guys like these, if you don't like them, things I can improve upon, things I'm awesome at, and so on. So, let's give it a shot. Let's get started.
Alright, this video is for all the boys, so if you're not a boy, just keep scrolling. Here are things that girls secretly want for your first date. Number 1, this is more of an expectation, but make sure you're exactly on time, if not 5 minutes earlier. Us girls are major overthinkers, so if you're even 10 minutes late, we're gonna think that you're standing us up. And then it is going to screw up our mentality for the rest of the date.
It kind of cracks me up that a girl would ask you to be early for your date. Now, I don't know about you guys, but every date that I've been on, I can't think of one time where I've shown up on time and the girl wasn't still getting ready. And I end up sitting around with her roommate or her family or petting her cat or watching TV or something along those lines while I'm waiting for her to finish getting ready. And if you show up early, she's going to be extra anxious. She's going to be running around like a crazy person trying to get done on time. She's right. You should be on time, but I do not recommend showing up early. You're going to be sitting around waiting. And who wants to do that?
Number 2, no phones on the date. Trust me, I get it. In this generation, when we get nervous, the first thing we want to do is go on our phones. However, it is literally the worst thing to do on a first date because it's rude. And us girls will think you're literally texting other girls during the date. Our mind just immediately goes there.
She is right. You should not be on your phone during a date, but I think this is more of a problem for women because women seem to have their phone attached to their hand and they just can't stop looking at it, texting, taking pictures and whatnot. But you should not be on your phone. And if you see her on her phone repeatedly during your date, you definitely want to speak up. You don't have to be rude about it, but be firm and just say something along the lines of, look, why don't you get off your phone? We're on a date. And if she continues doing it, just tell her that she's being rude and you should feel free to walk out of the date if she keeps doing it. It is rude and clearly she's not that interested if she's paying more attention to her phone than you.
Number 3, this is definitely not an expectation, but girls absolutely love it when a guy gets home after the date and texts them and tells them how much fun they had and that they'd love to see them again. For girls, that extra reassurance is key.
Yeah, I do not agree with that at all. If you want to tell her that you had a great time, then say that when you're parting ways after your date. You do not want to reach out to her when you get home and start texting with her and telling her how great of a time that you had. What I do recommend that you do, like I said, tell her that you had a great time when you're parting ways on your date, whether that be when you drop her off or you're going your separate ways. But after the date, what I recommend that you do is you wait about 4 to 6 days, roughly about that, and then you reach out to them and ask them if they'd like to go on another date. Now, a lot of guys think this is waiting too long. Actually, a lot of girls think that too. But the reason why is because you want to create a little bit of mystery and anticipation here. If you do the same things every other guy does, you're not going to be exciting. You're going to be boring and predictable. And the good thing about this is most guys are going to wait maybe a day, maybe 2 days before they reach out to a girl after a date. But by you waiting longer than that, by that time, if she likes you, if she doesn't like you, she doesn't care. But if she likes you, by that time, she's going to be getting a little nervous, a little anxious about why she hasn't heard from you yet. In some cases, if her attraction is high, she will actually reach out to you and then you could set up another date then. But if she doesn't, just wait that amount of time, reach out to her, and then set up another date. And by this time, the tension, the mystery will have built so much, and she will just be very excited to have heard from you by this time. So wait a few days, 4 to 6 days is what I recommend, then ask her out on the date. Let's go on to video number 2.
If you have a first date coming up, trust me, you're going to want to watch this video. Here are my 5 non-negotiables for a first date. And as someone who's been on many first dates, trust me, this list is it. Number 1, cannot plan a date. If you ask me out, I'm expecting you to know where we're going, what we're doing. Do not ask me what I have in mind because I don't have anything in mind, okay? It's 2023. Get on Google, get on TikTok, ask your boys, ask your siblings, tell me where to be and what time. Speaking.
Yeah, she's right. This planning dates is 100% on the man. So if you ask her out on a date, do not ask her what she wants to do, what she feels like doing, anything like that. You should either have an idea of what you want to do, or by the time of the date, you should know exactly what you want to do. It's fine to get feedback from her, asking her, how does this sound? But other than that, you're planning everything. All she wants to do is get dressed up, look hot, and show up for the date, and really nothing more. She wants you to take the lead and do what you're supposed to do, which is plan everything for the date.
Speaking of time, if you do not text me in the morning or afternoon to confirm our plans, baby boy, I'm not going to see you, because if you're texting me at 5 p.m. and the date is at 7 p.m., you best believe I already booked a workout class or I'm at the grocery store buying groceries to make my own dinner, okay?
Okay, that's a little ridiculous that you have to check in with her to make sure that the date is still on. And my question is, why would she be making other plans when she already has plans with you? This is just a sign of an insecure girl that's afraid that you're not going to show up for the date or that you're going to blow her off, which tells me guys have done this to her in the past, which makes you wonder, why are guys blowing her off? But you do not need to check in and reassure her that the date is still on. When you make the date, simply tell her that the date is on, you will show up at that time, and if there's any problem, you will let her know, and she should do the same. That's it. And expect her to show up for the date. And if she doesn't, then she doesn't get another chance with you. It's that simple.
Number 3, if you're not being a gentleman, what are you doing? What are you doing? Please don't do that. It's not cute, babe. It's not cute.
You should be a gentleman. Now, this doesn't mean simping for her or letting her walk all over you or anything like that. It simply means doing things like holding the door open, taking off her coat, pulling out her chair. I think for most of you, you've been raised to be that guy. So you should do it. Don't think that just because some crazy red pill videos are telling you that you're being a simp for doing things like that, that you should no longer do them. Just be a gentleman. It's that simple. It's being done out of respect.
Number 4, big one. Please do not talk badly about ex-mom women. If you tell me your ex is crazy, immediately red flag for me. What did you do to make her crazy? Also, please don't talk badly about your mom. I'm sorry if you don't have the best relationship, but that shit just does not fly with me, and it's not going to fly with the girl either. Also, don't talk bad about women.
First thing that I wanted to point out is the fact that if you had a crazy ex, that it's something that you did. I mean, sometimes that is the case, but most of the time that's not the case. She's just crazy. She can't control her own emotions. It has nothing to do with you. You were just living your life. But she is right. You shouldn't be talking bad about your ex. I do not recommend talking bad about women at all, because she's going to get an idea of thinking that, okay, this guy is bad news, and it's going to make her feel unsafe. But you shouldn't be talking bad about your ex, because you're starting off on the wrong foot. Number 1. Number 2, she's going to wonder, if she does get involved with you, are you going to be telling other people what a crazy person she was? So if the topic of your ex does come up, try to keep it vague. The best thing you could say is something along the lines of, well, things just didn't work out, or we weren't on the same page, or we wanted different things, and leave it at that. And then get off the topic.
Number 5. This is a very, very like passionate topic. Don't ask me on a date and then ask me to split the bill. I'm just not going to do it, babe. I'm not going to do it. Okay. You're not going to see me. So if you want a second date with the person that you're going on the date with, follow this list.
Well, she does bring up some good points, and I do agree that you shouldn't be asking her to split the bill. I know that's a big thing right now, because it is true that there are some women out there that are using you for a free meal. That does happen. So I'm not saying that that doesn't happen. But what you should be doing on a first date, rather than taking them out to some restaurant or on a fancy date, fancy restaurant, something of that nature, what I recommend that you do instead on your first date is take her out for coffee or tea or ice cream, or grab a drink, or go for a walk in the park, something like that. Now, I know you've been seeing a lot of women online saying that they won't go out with guys like that, but then they just don't get a chance with you. And the reason why you're doing it like that, it's not because you're cheap or that you don't respect her, or you don't think that she's worthy. It's so you can get together for a short date where it's not a big commitment, and you could get to know each other a little bit. See if there's an actual connection and some chemistry before you start investing your time, your energy, and your money into a woman that you barely even know. I guarantee that if you're doing it this way, a girl's not going to be wasting her time. If she just wants to use you for free meals, she's not going to be wasting her time doing this stuff. In fact, the women that demand that you take them out and spend a lot of money on them for a first date, I would say that they are using you. They're either using you for a free meal or they're a gold digger. So handle your first dates in the way that I'm suggesting, and I guarantee either you won't be wasting your time on women that are just using you, or you will be starting the vetting process on the right foot. So that's what I recommend that you do. And these girls, they do have some good points. They're a little warped, a little twisted, but for the most part, they're on point, and I do agree with it. So if you guys enjoyed this video, or you need some questions answered, or you need some coaching, be sure to head over to my website at soa.fm. It's completely free. There's no catch to sign up or to be a part of the community. There's plenty of guys there every day posting questions, posting videos, and we're all sharing thoughts and ideas about women and how to make our lives better and have more successful relationships. On that note, I will catch you guys on the next video. Have a good one. Bye-bye.